Hi guys, this is Mastercontrol. This is a game I just had. It was pretty good. I switched up decks here. I'm just trying some different ones. This game I'm playing Nath of the Guilt Leaf. This guy's deal is whenever it's your turn and he's out, at the beginning of your turn, they discard a card and you get a 1/1 elf. Whenever they discard a card, you get a 1/1 elf. So he's really good in 1v1 matches. Multiplayer, a little less effective, just because you have to choose, it chooses somebody at random to discard a card, so a lot less effective, and you'll probably get hated on pretty hard. So I kept what I feel is a pretty good hand. I have Mind Twist, Mind Shatter, Toxic Deluge. Now I know these are going to come in handy when I'm playing against Azami, because she just draws cards like crazy, specifically Toxic Deluge. So I go first, dropping Forest. Usually I like playing blue players because, at least on MTGO, I think they get hated on a lot. So I think people concede a little bit too early to them. So it's very difficult for their development to actually learn how to play a full game. I know that sounds silly, but I find in MTGO, the more you lose, the more you learn. And I don't think mono blue players lose too much, just because the concede rate on MTGO, like by turn 5, is huge. It's probably about 50% before turn 5. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes somebody just wants to get to a new game. I understand. Anyways, he brainstorms. I should also say, the guy that I'm playing is not one of those players. This guy absolutely knows what he's doing. Okay, so I put down another land. Just developing here. He puts down a wizard that draws cards. So he's tapped out, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I was considering briefly mind twisting him for 2, but I really needed to set his game back by an incredible amount. Discarding is a good mechanic, but obviously when you're against a deck where their general draws cards, it's a lot less effective. It loses a lot of its punch. So I decide to ramp like a crazy person. I go for Nature's Lore, land, Sylvan Scrying for Ancient Tomb. So my plan is to cast Mind Twist if he taps out, and then if he has Force, I still have Mind Shatter to follow it up with. Now, he keeps 3 mana up, so, I mean, it's a mono blue deck, he has 3 mana, he's got a counter in his hand. So I use my less efficient discard spell, figuring that if he doesn't have a counter, great, that's profit, and if he does, then I can still hit him next turn. So I use Mind Shatter. Sure enough, yeah, so he hindered it. You couldn't see that, it sort of lagged. Next turn, taps out for Azami. Alright, so he probably doesn't think I have another discard spell in hand. I probably would have done the same thing if I were in his vision. But I do. So I take out his hand. This time he doesn't have Force. So he draws, gets more wizards, gets more draws, and then tutors. So, I mean, he just drew 3 cards on his turn. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards on his turn. And tutored. That's how fast Azami can be, just to get back from having his entire hand depleted. So I Toxic Deluge and kill his draw engines. So I'm still sort of wary about what he tutored for. I don't think the tutor he used is good. It's probably a lot better in Azami, because you can just long-term plans, then tap your wizards and get it right away. Yeah. Right. So I have enough mana to put Nath down to. I'm not too worried about removal. He has 1 card in his hand. I wasn't worried about a counterspell. If I got a counterspell, good. That's 1 counterspell out of his hand. I had enough mana to cast my general next turn. So his Mana Crypt puts down Azami and Stem Proctor. This is an interesting card. I've actually never, well, I haven't seen it that much. It enters the battlefield, return target artifact or enchantment to its owner's hand. That's a really nice tempo card. He returned Mana Crypt to his hand and played Mana Crypt again. I really like that play. Nope, my turn. Nath doesn't hit for anything. So I just go, I was thinking of doing stuff, decided against it. I just go right to attack because I wanted for him to either block and draw a card or just not block, and he doesn't block. So I still want to get the cards out of his hand that he doesn't have there yet, so I force the issue, and I regrowth Toxic Deluge. Played for 2, kill his guys. He draws cards, I say okay, and then I Raven's Crime those 2 cards away now that he's tapped out again. So just the amount of cards I've had to get him to discard at this point are phenomenal. Like, look at his graveyard. Those are all discarded cards or killed cards with Toxic Deluge, and it's turn 7. I've had to do a lot of work here. We both don't really have a hand. So I get 2 elves. Okay. He casts. What did he cast? Oh, he cast Blue Sun Zenith, so he has 3 cards in his hand. So I get rid of one of them with Nath's ability. And I'm desperately looking for a land so I can use Raven's Crime. So I put that guy out, put Mindstone out, I sack Mindstone, get Sylvan Library. It's not bad, it could be better. Swing in for some damage. This game isn't really about damage. It's about wrestling for control. Actually, saying that, this game did come down to damage. I sound like an idiot. Okay, so he plays a wizard. I get another card out of his hand. It's just an island. Draw 2. I, of course, take the damage because I don't want to see those cards on the top again. Raven's Crime, one of my lands away. Oh, sorry, no, I don't. I play Crucible, and I put a land back on the battlefield. Blocks an elf. I made a minor mistake there. I should have leveled up my Jorga Tree Speaker. Plays Azami again. Get another card from his hand. So I put the cards on top. I probably should have taken the damage and got Thoughtseize, even though he didn't have any cards in his hand. And then I should have shuffled away the land by using one of my my fetch lands. That was another mistake. Anyways, I attack, block some stuff, draw some cards. Draw some more cards. Draw some more cards. This guy's kind of cool. He's a human wizard, and whenever another human enters the battlefield, untap this wizard. So any humans that come in, he just gets a double tap. And he uses it to great effect in this game on his next turn. So he writes the human. Probably should have tapped that. Oh, he does tap the human first. There it is. He has some blockers out. Of course, use Nath's ability. Get another elf. Go on top. Get him to discard a card with Raven's Crime. Get him to discard a card with Raven's Crime. He drew a card here, which means he's afraid I'm going to get rid of something, so it's sort of good that I kept Thoughtseize there. And I just look to see what he got. It's Teferi, so I'm pretty glad I got the Thoughtseize. Get him to discard it. I get another elf. I do sack my land here, I remembered. Let's playing like an idiot. Attack. He doesn't block. And now it's his turn. I'm just going to speed through this. Suffice it to say, he draws an incredible amount of cards by basically playing humans, untapping his humans, playing more humans. Just give the client a second to catch up here. Okay, I think I went a little too fast, but this game, eventually he just keeps on drawing and drawing and drawing. I think he drew a total of 17 cards, and he had 3 guys untapped at the end. Of course, I don't think what he took into account is whenever he discarded down to 9, I got elves for those on his discard. So I got 8 elves, and I swung for the win. He didn't block. It was a good game. It's nice to see blue players playing well instead of just relying on counters. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed.